the Wickenburg Roundup, where we're uplifting others, staying positive, and believing in yourself, and all for the love of Wickenburg. From the Wickenburg podcast headquarters at the world-famous La Siesta Plaza, here's Richard Johnson.
Hello and welcome to the Wickenburg Roundup. This is a fun day we've got today. It is Gold Rush Days in Wickenburg, Arizona, but I've got Claire here. She works here locally. She is a great photographer. She was taught by one of the best, but a very special guest, We have Will Roberts here. He's been in all sorts of things. I'm going to let him talk about everything that he's into right now and what he's done. But Claire, welcome, and Will, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. Will, first, I know we just got done watching his show, and I told him it was getting better every year, and he said, well, because why was it bad before? Or,
yeah, right.
You know,
like this year is amazing. I'm like, what about the other years?
Yeah, they're all great.
I appreciate it.
Tell us, what was your first year here in Wickenburg doing the show for the Chamber?
Wow, this is like, I feel like my wife has asked me when our anniversary is, but you know, first off, I want to say that one of the reasons why it's easy for me to elaborate, have fun in this is because, again, I call this my second home because I think it's been 9 years, and that's 105 in dog life, I think. But it's just such a great, I love everybody here. It's my second home. And so it makes it easier for me to elaborate because as a performer, and you all know, as a performer, that when you are so comfortable in this atmosphere about being on stage, but yet you are conscious of everybody around you, and when everybody around you gives you that community and that love, I have to say I'm going to have to give more credit to the audience than myself.
Well, I think the audience loved you today.
Yeah, well, I certainly love them. So, and we got a bit of a a nice little brisk sprinkle, but we're good now and rodeo on.
Yeah, we needed rain, so
yeah.
It's okay. Every time the desert gets rain, it's a good thing.
It is a good thing, and I'll say that it happened at the very end of my show, so I have to remember that part of my show because I think it's now called the Rainmaker Show.
Yeah. I know people are going to want to know about you, Will. What got you started in show business?
Well, I was in I'm kidding. Yeah, sorry. They said the only way you can get out is by making license plates or go do a show. To be honest with you, I guess I consider myself lucky because I was one of those kids that I remember distinctly, like it was yesterday, my mother, we were at some place, and she said, yeah, go up there and dance or do something. And I was like, 2.5 feet tall, and I did, I think, my Elvis imitation. But at that point, and I know it sounds weird, but like, what's your earliest childhood memory? Mine is that I knew at that moment that that was what I was going to do. And I'm actually getting chills right now thinking about it, knowing, because it is such a dedication to be able to do this industry from whether it's dance, sing, act, musical theater, film, TV, whatever it is. It really is something that is my 40 plus years of doing this is something that you have to build a resilience and you have to love this whole thing that we're doing. Like right now, you have such a beautiful studio, and it's great because I know ultimately that you're going to be making this thing look into magic. But I got started really early in my life in musical theater, and I think my first show was South Pacific. I was a sailor, nothing but a dame. Anyway, and then I fell in love with it. But I've gone through all of this stuff from musical theater. Then I went into TV and film, which I am currently. I work for Cirque du Soleil. I got my world records. I did Will Rogers Follies almost 30 years ago. Fell in love with that philosophy. And I'm actually glad to say that I am very happy that I've never gone off the path going like, I'm going to go do this, and it has nothing to do with my industry. Like I decided to, I don't know what, become a plumber. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I made the dedication that no matter what I did, whether it's technical or shooting at whatever, that I stayed in the industry because bottom line, I'm a really bad waiter. So.
Well, I thought that's where a lot of guys started is,
As a waiter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, in L.A., yeah, there might be.
Everybody's a waiter.
Yeah, but Yeah, absolutely. But I was so bad that it was, I mean, I was really great. I started as a busboy. I remember I was young, 16, 17 years old. And then they made me at one point, a host of a really nice place. And they're like, wow, everybody loves you. And they go, you want to be a waiter? And I go, yeah, but I'm really right brain, okay? So, and if you know anything about right brain, left brain, that means that I'm really creative. As I've gotten older, I've become more left brain, but we go, oh, it's so beautiful, and then we don't build it. But I'd get there, and they would go, hey, come here, Will. The managers and owners would go, we love you, they love you, but we can't have you as a waiter anymore because all the food's showing up cold. I go, oh, we're supposed to deliver food? Isn't it about the experience? Yeah. Anyway.
I did a couple dinner theater shows, and of course they don't tell you until a day or two before that we're serving. And I'm all,
oh,
what?
Really?
Yeah, they didn't tell me. I said, we're doing this
That's
show, and it's so much
awesome.
fun, and now you got to serve people. I'm all, I had never done it either, and
Dance and wait.
Yeah, right.
It was probably not. Yeah, it was probably not my favorite part, but it was definitely. I'm going to say I'm kind of in the hospitality business now, but I've learned to enjoy it now, or learn to love it now.
And I want to put something on the end of that is that one of my favorite types of theater that I did for many years was British farce or farce stuff, and it was at dinner theater. Mm-hmm. And how much fun is that? You go in, everybody's usually ripped, and they're watching the show, and they're having a great time. And if you're on a comedy thing and during British farce and so on, I just think what a great experience that was for me. And they serve the food and, and so on.
A couple more things that I just find very fascinating is Oppenheimer.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
it's a pretty good film.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, it's all right. 3 hours long.
It only won
Seven
Sorry. Oscars. Yeah, I did look that up, and I didn't know how many.
Yeah, 7.
But you would be considered an Oscar winner.
I would be, and the exciting thing is that at home, we also won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Ensemble, which was kind of cool because, we've been doing this for as long as you've been doing it, and we don't get this a lot. We don't, and we get this less. But the fact is that when I got into Oppenheimer, interesting story. By the way, how long is our show?
You go as much time as you'd like.
Okay, good. Interesting story about how I got into the show, the film, is that I've been doing this for a long time. So I've got agents and managers all over the world, and one of my agents, who dear guy Mike Gerard, said to me, he goes a while before I got this audition, hey Will, we met for lunch and everything. That's what they do in Hollywood. And he would text me at like 1 in the morning going, hey, you got an audition. And my wife would be like, who are you texting? And I go, it's my agent. She goes, okay. But he was a wonderful guy. And I was like dry for like 2 or 3 months. And I contacted him and he goes, yeah, it's going to pick up. He goes, I'm under the weather right now. And this is during COVID. Mm-hmm. And so lo and behold, about a month or so goes past. And I'm like, Mike, what's going on? Nothing. He goes, hey, about 2 weeks later, he goes, well, look, I'm in the hospital. I'm okay. I'll be good. Well, another month goes by, and I'm like, I'm not getting any auditions, and I'm kind of getting freaked out. Lo and behold, whatever it is you believe in, manifestation or whatever, I got an audition, and I'm like, oh, I was starting to worry. And it was an audition for a film called Gadget. Now, I looked at this, and I'm like, I know the casting director, John Papsadera, Yellowstone, Westworld, 1883, Oppenheimer. And I looked at this, and I'm like, wow, this is a big film, because it said Universal, it said John Papsadera, and it said Gadget. There was nothing on the books. And the script I got, the side, was literally some generic, like, military guy talking to some other person, which was never in the film. Mm-hmm. And it was basically what we call a fake script that they just want to see and put you and look and see whether or not you fit in a particular role. So I do the audition, I get it, self-tape, got my studio set up and everything, and I had a friend of mine who's a coach, and she said, yeah, do it one more time, just slow it down and enjoy it a little bit more. I'm like, it's not exactly an enjoyable scene, but I did it, and I sent it in, and there was a block because we submit. And I'm like, why can't I put this through? And I'm trying to call my agent, Mike, what's going on? No answer. His office, no answer. Longer of the short of it is that I literally I had to find another agent to push the audition through, because we can't do that. We just have to submit, and we send it, and we go, and then we let it go. And I got nobody. And so finally, I got another agent on the side, and she put it through. Her name is Lauren Green. And if you're old enough, you know that sounds like Ponderosa or whatever. And it's a woman. And she goes, here, I'll push it through to you. I go, oh, thank goodness. Well, consequently, she gets a hold of me via email, and she goes, like 20 minutes later, she goes, you're pinned, which basically means that they went, here, oh, it's backdrop, it moves. So I thought it was a wall. Anyway, but, you know, they pin you and they go, we're looking at you. Now, that pin could mean 40 people. And they go, but you're at least in front of the producers and so on, and Christopher Nolan in that case. And I'm like, okay. And normally you can wait from a day to 2 weeks, and then they'll release you out of nowhere and go, thank you, have a good day. 10 minutes later, they go, you got it. You booked it. And I'm like, wow. But I didn't know what it was. So then I start searching around, and I'm like, gadget. I'm like, and I looked at it, and I'm like, and I go, atomic bomb? Wait a second. And then I started uncovering more, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Christopher Nolan, and it's a film called Oppenheimer. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I talked to 2 other actors since then, because we went to the Academy Awards stuff. We were invited. Amazing time. Cool. Yeah, and one of the guys I know, Tom, had one line. He said, I'm over here. And he was one of the scientists. And he said, I went through 5 callbacks to get that one line. And I got it with no callback. And I'm like, wow.
Just that good.
So I nailed it. So consequently, here's the end of the story. My agent, Michael Gerard, died 2 days before I got it. So he never knew I got it. So every once in a while I'll go, hey, oh wait, an agent. Hey, Mike. Thank you. So, you know, it's amazing. I wish he would have known. He was such a great guy, and he really was out there for me. But so there's the story about how I got General Marshall. Then I spent 3 months, and I studied General George C. Marshall, the Marshall Plan, everything, and I got in the room. And when I got in the room, standing at no table, because they had a huge IMAX camera that every 20 minutes, 2 guys came and they changed to 70 millimeter stock. And when they were filming, you hear this? You hear nothing, right? That went while you're doing the scene. And here I am, Matt Damon, Cillian Murphy, Josh Hartnett, a couple of others, Matthew Modine, James Remar, Warriors and so on. And I'm like, I didn't know who was in the scene other than I thought Cillian might be. And I got there that day, and I'm like, well, this is all A-listers. Yeah. So, but I studied 3 months on Marshall, and I really got so into it that I knew that if I did this scene like this, going, yeah, you bet, sir, you bet, that I would be lost. So anyway, actor prepares, and I got in there and got her done, and the rest is history. Sorry, that was a long story.
Yes, that is.
I hope you don't mind that. You can edit.
No, I don't want to edit any of it. It was great. But we are here now in Gold Rush.
Yes, we are.
Where can people come see you for the rest of the Gold Rush days? Well,
I kind of float. In the morning on Friday, I always do the opening ceremony. And then tomorrow, being Saturday, before the parade and everything, I do my act again. And then I'm roaming around. And this year, I'm going to have a table over there somewhere in the area wherever the vendors are, because I have a book I wrote on trick roping. It's got my stuff there. I'll sign it. And a kitty, like a rope, everybody can spin for like $15 or whatever. But I'm just going to be over there entertaining and doing stuff. But most likely I'll be roaming around spinning my guns and my ropes. Most likely more my guns now, because it's a little wet and I don't want my ropes to get out there and get wet. But I'll be everywhere and anywhere.
Well, this state being an open carry state, you can take your guns anywhere you want to go.
Yeah. I do. Well, I have I will say that I've traveled around the world. I've been in every state in the United States other than Alaska. but twice or three times. But the beauty about what I do is that when I'm come to do a gig, they know that they hired a guy that spins guns. So I don't have to go like, oh, is it okay if I'm here? And surprisingly, I have such an easy time in California doing it because they go, we booked you, because I did something at Warner Brothers or whatever. But I love doing it. The funny thing is the only place I can't do this in Rome is Tombstone, because I know it's Second Amendment city. And I'm like, what do you mean? They go, we have an area for you, and you're going to stay here. And I'm like, okay, I don't get it.
That would have been put in back then by Wyatt Earp. Yeah, my brother was in Tombstone.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he said, he told me, he said that they still don't allow guns to carry a gun in town.
Well, they used to, because I did my shows, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere it was like they couldn't have the reenactors walking around and blah. And I guess I get it, but it's called the Second Amendment city, so that always confused me. But anyway, but I love Tombstone. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it is.
Because I lived here for not here, but in Phoenix, for Ahwatukee and Chandler and stuff like that for about 8 years.
And you're in the southwest of the country now.
I am in a place called Temecula, which is a big wine region. It's about maybe 40 minutes from San Diego and 2.5 from LA. So,
yeah, I think that area is very beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I am definitely far away because as an actor, I used to go there before COVID, 4 or 5 times a week, and I have a Corolla that's a 2020, and even back then I had 112,000 miles. And if COVID didn't happen, I probably would have had 225,000. But in any case, it is a beautiful area, and luckily I'm close enough to an international airport.
Yes. Tell us about, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes. One of the things that, first of all, I love this cowfolk stuff that we all do. And, I come here, and I just have to say, I've said this before, I'll say it again, but the beauty of Wickenburg. And it's funny because when I lived here in Arizona, I remember coming through this all the time, going to wherever it was, and I would go, man, I sure would like to do a show here. Sure would like to. And I said that for 10 years, and I tried to get a whole, nothing. And then Joey Dillon, good friend of mine, who was the guy out here for many years doing gun spinning and so on in his show, he couldn't do it one year, and he goes, here, do it for me, and I did it, and then I've been back for 9 years, so Joey's okay with it, but it's such a great place to come because one of the things that I face with my Guinness World Record and what I do is that if I'm not in an audience of a mixed demographic, it's tough nowadays because if I say Gunsmoke to a younger crowd or, if I say have gun, they'll be like, what are you talking about? And it's okay. It's just that I don't want that history of the cow folk to go away. And here in Wickenburg, how can it? First of all, it's the top team roping of the world, I think.
It is.
It is. and you got rides. You got the ride you do here, which is amazing. You got so many things here that you can do, and there's so much diversity in Arizona, and right here especially. You got the museum. You got great stuff. You got great food.
Well, kids, if you haven't seen Gunsmoke, go watch Gunsmoke. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah,
Gunsmoke,
did you?
Rifleman,
Oh.
I Love Lucy.
Okay.
What else? All those old.
Yeah, all those old ones,
all those old. I can quote you the Gunsmoke. It's.
I had a chance. I did a show that's Dodge City. I forgot the gentleman's name. I did a 2-day show in a big theater there, and there's a Gunsmoke walk of whatever, and Marshall Dillon, and that's basically where it all kind of came from. But again, like that, Wickenburg is iconic, and there isn't a lick of this place that isn't has the culture and the history, which is wonderful.
It is growing, and there's a lot of people that have been born here, and they like to see change very slowly.
Yeah.
Which I think is as it happens slowly, it's better, I think.
Agreed.
But it is growing. I mean, that's one thing that this area has become very popular. It is, I believe now, it is on the map, and I think Gold Rush is one of the reasons that it is. And
of course.
Yeah, and the people that have helped build this weekend, and I'm going to say the Chamber. They've done a great job.
Oh, I love them. I mean, from Julie and when I started to, you know, where we are now. And the point is that they're keeping that West alive. And I'll say, because I've traveled around, let's just say United States, like I used to love and do, forgot the name of it, Bob Bosbell did it at Durango. And Al Harper, who runs the air railroad there, and 200 of them around the country and world. I used to go there, but I'll tell you, I love Durango. Don't get this wrong if you're from Durango, and Silverton, but they kind of don't have the cowboy thing like they used to, that they still have here, which is the real thing that unfortunately they basically went to the knick-knack shops.
As I was growing up, I got to go. My brother loves trains. I love trains.
I do too.
I think the coolest train ride here would be to go from Wickenburg to Prescott.
Oh.
And that would be very similar to the narrow gauge that they have the Durango and Silverton train.
Do they have that here?
No, but it would, I always thought with the train station.
Oh, I'm going now. It's
Yeah. So if anybody
way.
heard this with lots of money, it might be a real good idea. So.
Well, you know what? I'll help them out and say that I know Al does like, what do you call it? What's the Christmas movie with the train? I can't remember. Polar Express.
Polar Express,
He
correct.
does it all over the world. And, you know, and then they do, you know, Thomas the Train. Point is that there's a lot of money in that, so start a train. And, you know, the part I love about Wickenburg is that, you know, as disruptive as it may be, I might be in the middle of a trick with a really great joke, and the punchline has to come now, and I'll hear, and here comes the train.
Today?
And I go,
Yeah.
got a commercial break. Folks.
Yeah.
My office shakes about 4 times a day.
Does it?
Train.
Wow. You're
It's
on the
fun,
fault.
though. It's fun though.
Yeah, she's on the other, right on the other side of the tracks.
Okay.
Well, you know, Claire and Will, I want to thank you both. We've been here, and Will's got places to go, and Claire.
Oh, I've got nowhere to go.
Oh,
No. I want, actually, before you, can we stick for a second?
absolutely.
Claire, it's your turn. So what do you do when you're not doing this?
Well, I do this a lot.
Okay?
No, I learned everything from
This
Mr.
man?
Johnson over here.
Yeah,
I came in about, what was it, 2 years ago, and didn't have any experience with photography or
Oh, wow.
anything, and followed him to a roping, and he taught me everything I know. So I go around and take pictures of everything now. It's
Now,
fun.
I've never said this publicly, but Claire cost me about $18,000. And I can tell you, I don't even know that she knows this.
Your camera?
Hold on, let me tell the story.
love it.
As we're shooting side by side, and I've had DSLRs, and
Sure.
they were nice, and I had great lenses, and I'd get a good picture, and then she'd be standing right next to me and with her 5D Mark II and take a picture, and I'm going, my $5,500 camera doesn't look as good. Not that Mark V or R5s are still expensive, but I'm going, oh, I'm going to have to switch over eventually. Last summer I switched over, and Canon's very proud of their new equipment. But
You mean
their
mirrorless?
Yes. Yeah. I am still more comfortable with my DSLRs, but I shot for so many years with them.
Yeah.
But I'm getting more and more comfortable. Today, as we're both taking pictures of you, I said, Claire, can you help me with this one setting? And she, oh yeah, here you go, boom. So she helped me. So now she cost me money, but she helps me. So.
But you know what? There's an interesting conversation here, and I hope you don't mind if we have this. But you know, the demographics of younger people getting mentors that are capable and have that and carrying on, and also, in your case, learning. Because I always believe no matter what you do, because you have to. If you don't, then you probably die on the vine. But learning from people. I have no ego if someone says to me, like, I have a GSL, I have a GH5. Mm-hmm. And I love the GH5. It's what we call the poor man's red. Mm-hmm. And it's great video, not great because of light.
Yeah, it's red.
But, Yeah, but the point is that if you have people and you create a team that you are help building, and then they even go past you. I mean, we always say we want our kids to be smarter than us, and she already looks smarter than you.
Yeah,
but it's
thanks.
okay. But it's a good thing because, again, I bring it back to Wickenburg and how they've maintained their community and their philosophy of what it's like to be a person here in Wickenburg. And again, you're talking about one of the biggest rodeo ropings that exist. And now, if I'm not wrong, we added in the Thursday of the women's, what was it, team roping or
Breakaway.
Breakaway.
was yesterday. Yeah.
I mean, great.
How many hours were you there yesterday taking pictures?
I was there for 5. They started at noon, and they had 2 rounds, and they ended up having, I think it was 265 girls.
Oh my
so
gosh.
by the end of round 1 at 4:30, my camera had finally run out of juice, and I had to leave, and they still had an entire second round to go.
Oh my.
So yeah, there's a lot of activities, especially for Gold Rush, but roping and breakaway is getting really, really big here.
Wow, that's great. I just want to ask you all a question. How's it going? By the way, this is an awesome setup you have. And what's the name of this podcast that we're doing?
It is the Wickenburg Roundup.
Right. Okay.
And I worked for the Wickenburg Sun for quite a few years.
Yes, you did.
And when I first got started, I was so used to saying the Wickenburg Sun, I had to cut that part out, but it's like it came across so easily, but now I've got it down to the Wickenburg Roundup.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I told you that I spent 30-something years in talk radio, and even to this date, I still do a lot of streaming and stuff, but I always put it on my camera. I go, what if I have a cut-in line?
See the poster?
Yeah.
That helped me.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. So I can go like this. I can go, yeah, well, we're Wickenburg Roundup. But, that way you don't forget it. But in any case, this is phenomenal. And I'm just going to shoot to the camera right here and say that if you're watching this, you need to tell a friend about it because this is legit. He's doing and she's doing a great job at bringing this content to you. And by the way, contact them so you can sponsor them. And here's what I'd say. Tell them that you'll give them money to do this, but you want to come on the show because this is obviously about rounding up all the information and technology and people and community of Wickenburg. Mm-hmm. So have them all on, right?
Yes. The friend of mine that owns the complex is Charlie Hawk, and it is
Great
the
name.
world-famous La Siesta Plaza. Charlie, I got you in there, so just so
I'm
you know.
going there after this. Wait, isn't that the place over by?
We're in the world-famous
I knew
La
that.
Siesta Plaza.
I knew that. I'm just going to hang out here. Charlie, I'm here.
Yeah, and when we talked about having a podcast, we said, what should we talk about? And I said, Wickenburg. And I go, what do you mean? Don't you want to focus it in on anything? I said, there is so much to do in this town that people don't know. It's like the ropers just think it's roping. I mean, there's folks that come here that are snowbirds.
That's right.
That they don't necessarily know that there's that much roping, but there is. We got rain today, but we got sunshine.
Yeah, and
all winter.
The other thing I think is really important to point out about your show is that really, if you think about it, you're kind of the chamber on the air. Because when people are, no matter where they're at, because we already know that if someone types in Wickenburg and they see your show on YouTube or wherever you're putting it, mm-hmm. then it's basically a great little travel log for people to go, oh my gosh, I want to go there because I love Arizona. Mm-hmm. So you all have a big task ahead of you, but I'm going to start subscribing right away and bring all my friends.
Well, thank you. We very much appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'll come on and maybe I'll throw some roping content in there.
Nice. I did take some B-roll of wheel roping, and it will make this.
There it is.
Yeah,
now.
it will be here.
Dancing around.
Yeah. And the gun twirling, I got it all. Yeah. He got to show. He tried to catch a vet with
tough.
horns.
He was not a good.
Yeah.
He was not. He must have been a manager or something. Yeah. Normally, I'm like, come on, dude, follow instructions.
When you were doing that trick, I know I've had that same steer. Where couldn't go. Couldn't decide what speed he wanted to stay on. Just go constant. Yeah. Because usually cattle will do that.
No, and I was actually at the one of the steakhouses yesterday when I came in, and I'm sitting there watching some bulldogging, and I'm like, yeah, oh, it got away. Oh, it got away. I'm like, yep, he got away.
Yeah.
So it's all right, because sometimes it's not about the catch. Sometimes it's about the whole experience that you're in.
Well, the show was great.
Thank you, sir.
I just thought I'd let you know that
It
again.
was fun anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun anyway.
yeah.
The whole show was great.
Yeah.
And as good as it's been over the years, it just keeps getting better.
Well, I appreciate that. And, of course, I'll throw out a little thing for me if you want to check out any of the... I'm supposed to go to Brazil and shoot 3 films, and then I'm supposed to go to somewhere in... where are the Van Trapps from?
Oh, Switzerland.
Switzerland. Well, I'm supposed to go... Austria.
No, that's right.
I'm supposed to shoot something there for 40 days. So fingers crossed, because the industry has changed just a tad. And now, as you all do this, just know that it's about us having the control now about making our own content, because that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's happening a lot.
Yes, it is. Because, let's be honest, those big boys out there, they don't have a pulse on the heart of what we're doing, and you are here and you do. So I commend you.
Thank you.
Both.
They might be dictated. I know, again, when
they are.
Charlie and I started this, I said, I want things positive and
Absolutely.
uplifting. And any of us can go turn on some of the news stations, and there's a lot of news that isn't necessarily uplifting.
I don't think any of it is.
Yeah.
And now, because of doom scrolling, and, I always tell people, I go, that thing they used to say about guys like squirrel, squirrel, or shiny object? Now I just go scroll, scroll, which is true.
It's squirrel scroll. It's about the same.
And you get 5 seconds. So we probably lost 75% of our people after 10.
Yeah, well.
But it's okay. We got a hook.
Yeah, we got Claire.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Claire. Look.
So there it is. So there it is.
Well, thank you again, Will.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun to have you here. I will look forward to seeing you next year, but hopefully I'll get to see you between now and then. I am in Wyoming in the summer if you ever go up to Wyoming.
I love Wyoming. I
Me
used
too.
to actually go up to the Irma, and they have that rodeo that's, 365 days. I don't know how they do that. I think it's...
Is it Cody or is
Cody.
it?
Yeah, it's Cody. Yeah,
that's 7 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
They got some tired cattle there.
Yes.
Not again.
I work for the Jackson Hole Rodeo, and
Oh.
we're 3 days a
Oh, I love
week,
Jackson.
and that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I
Jackson
can handle
Hole
it.
is awesome.
I can handle it still.
Yeah. Jackson Hole's awesome if you got $45,000 to go to
For the weekend.
Stay there for the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, come on
It's pretty.
down.
Anyway, I can get drunk for a lot less and have to go to there. So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
And you won't know where you're at anyhow, so what does it matter?
except for the horns.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And the saddles in the $1 Million Cowboy
there
Bar.
you go. I remember that one.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for watching us. We are the Wickenburg Roundup. If you like us, give us subscribe or give us a comment. We want to know what you want to hear. But as long as it's about Wickenburg, if it's uplifting, please stay positive and believe in yourself. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
The Wickenburg Roundup, where we're uplifting others, staying positive, and believing in yourself. And all for the love of Wickenburg. From the Wickenburg Podcast headquarters at the world-famous La Siesta Plaza